This is more about living in the time of the coronavirus epidemic, noting that the time covered would be the summer of last year. I have realized that it can be difficult to recognize the warning signs of even imminent danger. I think maybe some people blessed with common sense tune into this better than others. That may be why there were prophets and oracles and EMTs. Similarly, I think it is a very treacherous thing to recognize and celebrate a new work of art. Come on, is it art or trash? If it's new, chances are excellent that it could be either one, or both. Anyway, it's a tough call. But again, I think there might be some people who are capable of tuning this in and embracing it. And these people, I think we could say they are as vital, as necessary as the artists, because the artists would be lost or neglected without them. Are they critics, patrons, artists? At this point in our society, many people would rather signify than mean, or simply be. Signifying is like magic. For one thing, it's not real. It's pretend, a pretense, an act, a trick, a posture. It's a way of representing yourself. You might even think of it as being your job or your alter ego. You take it seriously because it is the way you want to be seen in the world. But it is not you, the person. It's more like you, the personality. There are now reports of angry mobs of protesters stirred up by mandatory mask policies in schools. I'm quite certain that many parents will keep their children at home rather than send them to school in a mask. And that would lead to more trouble. Parents take this very seriously. It's personal for them. The state next to ours is going to require 2-year-olds to wear a mask. People said, okay, the one thing we can count on is that this year couldn't possibly be as bad as the last one. Really? We'll see about that. Things seem to get worse by the hour. The Delta variant is causing a second full-blown epidemic. Facing that, some states have called for mandatory masks in schools and child care facilities. All of them, public and private. Parents are refusing to comply with this. Lawsuits are being filed. People are asking if governors can be removed. The New York governor finally resigned, saying he was innocent and apologizing deeply to all the women he offended. What? People are also beginning to acknowledge the ravages of inflation, but all they do is complain about it. No one acts to counter it or slow it down. Instead, the House, led by Fancy Bulldozzi, is converting the $1 trillion infrastructure bill into a $3 trillion variant. Yes, if COVID can have variants, so can legislation. Passage of this will be additionally ruinous for our economy. Bulldozzi swears it will be our salvation. More shootings. The shootings now have become so numerous that they are reported, given a location, so there's a list of locations, and that's it. It's like fender benders in an icy rush hour. Last night's shooting included a gunfight between customers in a McDonald's, putting a spin on the Happy Meal. The shooting gets the same reaction as inflation. They are noticed, but no one even attempts to stop them. They are viewed as being inevitable, like the weather. As for the persistent question, is this made for kids? I would have to say, hell yes. Many of the shooting victims are kids. All the kids in schools, the mask mandates, and the critical race theory, and the vaccines, they'll be offering them to kids very soon, recommending them too. And if this is refused, that will be another dust-up. So this is definitely made for kids. Like the former governor of New York, I can only offer my apologies. Sorry, kids. You want to write something that's true. That seems doable. But that is especially difficult, maybe impossible, beyond our ken in times like these. But I'll try. Everyone has their own version, and everyone thinks their version is true. How's that? Versions can be similar or conflicting. There are only versions, but they are taken for the truth. Scientific equations, are they just versions? Poetry, versions? Wallace Stevens wrote 13 Ways of Looking at a Blackbird, a poem about versions. Now I see verse in versions. You do want to write something that's true, something that does not add to the clutter, clamor, and confusion. The PM said today, and I quote, "Persons who believe in God will be vaccinated." What a statement! Whatever happened to the separation of church and state? Since he clearly believes in God, maybe he will pray for the southern border, Afghanistan, and our economy. Pray, PM, pray. Before everything crumbles, I want the coverage I deserve. I want the credit rating I deserve. I want the money I deserve. I want the justice I deserve. I want the boner I deserve. I want the intimacy I deserve. But wait, what if, upon inspection, I'm not all that deserving? What if I'm already getting more than I deserve? And who gets to say exactly what I deserve? Are these the just desserts? Are they dessert? Or what I deserve? I'm confused. Again.